Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Christopher Frank and welcome to the Brownie fam. Today we're talking about saving money on textbooks and how to do that. So watch till the end so you can get all the tips, and then also check out my other videos and that I'll mention throughout the video. So my first tip is make sure you know if you need the textbook or not, because that can save you money. And so when you get to your classes before your first day, you probably sent a list. You're gonna have to check each class and look at your syllabus to see which books you need, and don't go out like some students and just go and buy books. And so if you move in before your first day, you may see a whole bunch of people walking back with these big stacks of books, but sometimes that's not the way to go. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, well I need to go get a whole bunch of books because everyone else is, because they may be spending money that they could be putting elsewhere. So you can click the card for some first day tips for college. And so going off of that, so your first day, you need to see if you need the book or not. And most of the times on that first day, that first week, it'll be syllabus week, drop and add is what we call it at UGA. And so you can see if you need the book, and the teacher will normally say if you need it or not. Make sure you don't automatically buy your books at your school's bookstore. And that's because most of the time the books at your school's bookstore are racked up like really high. You sometimes find the same books for free on Amazon. You can also find the books at local bookstores, especially at UGA. We have a whole bunch of like Beat the Bookstore, Baxter Street bookstores, the street and that goes through campus, and you can go and buy books there. This is not sponsored by them, by the way, but you can always go there to check and see if they have your books, and most of the time they do, and it's cheaper than the bookstore. And stores like that are rented and used books, they allow you to return the books at the end of the year during finals, and you can get money back. So sometimes you can just not even have to pay. You just pay that once and return it, and you get money back, and you can get up to the same amount that you paid, I believe. It's a win-win. Like, I do it. Make sure you check used bookstores before you go to your school's bookstore. Check Facebook groups or different group chats. So we use GroupMe a lot, and see if there's some upperclassmen that are in that. Make some upperclassmen friends also outside of it, and see if they have books that you may need. And so these group chats can have a whole bunch of people, like hundreds, 200, 300 people in those group chats. So someone is bound to have that book that you need, and they could probably give it to you for free if they're just trying to get it off their hands, or it could be way cheaper than the used bookstore or your school's bookstore. So check group messages first, and it's vital that you make some upperclassmen friends also, so that you can see if you can get some books from them. The last tip I have for you guys is borrowing textbooks, and I don't really agree with this one. I don't really support it, but it can sometimes be helpful. I know a lot of people that did do it, but if you know some friends that are in your class with you, you can always just share the books. If you need a homework assignment or you need to study, you may borrow it, or you may share it and study together with it. If you really need to save money, that's a way you can do it. I mean, plenty of people do it actually, for real. They really do borrow textbooks. It could be a hassle to have to just rely on people when you need to study and when they need to study, but if you need to save the money, you need to save the money. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, please subscribe to the channel and watch my other videos, and I'll see y'all for the next video. Bye.